Welcome to Career Cafe, where we bring our difference and make our difference. I'm your host, Kaylee. Welcome to Career Cafe. Today we have Megan joining us.
Hi.
Hi, thank you so much for joining us
Thanks
today.
for having me.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. So why don't you share a little bit about yourself before we get started?
Sure. I'm Megan Merle. I am the category director for the Multicultural Fresh and Kosher Division for Hard Discount Division. My role specifically, I'm really the leadership role for, like I said, all multicultural fresh categories. I handle the strategic plan, the financial decisions, and the overall performance of the categories. I have two merchants that work underneath me, and then I also have an assistant merchant that helps support the team as well. And then together, we really just handle the entire performance for all of kosher within the hard discount division across center store and fresh, and then all of multicultural fresh for the team.
Wow. Well, I wanted to thank you for taking the time to chat with me today, and we're excited to learn more about how the category and merchandising space at Loblaw has evolved and opportunities within it. So it seems to be constantly evolving.
Yeah.
There's a lot going
Yeah.
on. What are some of the most exciting growth opportunities you see within the team right now?
Yeah, I think I'm really lucky to work on an amazing team and also an ever evolving team, specifically being on the multicultural sector of the business. Just, even the everyday environment of the consumer and the multicultural consumer is constantly changing. And that makes our job constantly change as well. So there's a lot of growth and opportunity that can come when you're working on my specific categories that I'm working on. And I really try to bring that onto the team as well. There's so much they can do and so much that they can change, and there's no really roadmap. So any hard skills that anyone wants to work on, you can find it within this category specifically, whether that be learning how to build a planogram or learning how to set up a store, dealing with macro spaces, opening a new store, to small things like, which aren't even small, it's needed, but like just developing your strategic mindset, your financial acumen skills, your data and analytics. There's so much opportunity within this space for the team to develop on and work on. And then I think what's also great is that, if anyone that knows anything about category and merchandising, multicultural is the center of the business right now. So there's a lot of opportunity to gain a lot of exposure that you may not get in other areas of the business. And just 2 weeks ago, one of our merchants presented their plans all the way up to Paris. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That's really great exposure.
Exactly. So there's always something new, always something exciting that you never thought you'd work on. And yeah, it's a great space to work in.
Yeah, multicultural, especially like the landscape of Canada is evolving and neighborhoods are evolving. So you must really have to be agile to kind of meet the needs of the community and the consumers.
Absolutely. And, like a plan A never really works out these days. So you have to be good with pivoting. Ideally, a plan A would go, but you just, like I said, you have to be agile and you have to be ready to pivot. And then it just helps you really learn and develop those skills as well.
So you mentioned that on your team you have two merchants and an associate merchant under them.
Yeah.
Is that really the career path when it comes to the category merchandising space? And what are some of the typical roles that someone might progress through?
Yeah, if you want to follow, I guess I would say the roadmap in category merchandising, it would go from associate merchant, then on to merchant, and then to category director, and then so on up to president. But I have heard of a lot of different things, and I don't think that that's the career path that you need to follow. A lot of our employees have been even summer students. You can go from summer student, you can be store workers. A lot of the people that I work with had worked in stores and kind of worked the way up from that. And then you don't have to necessarily be in that category merchandising space. Like me, myself, I was never even an associate merchant. I started off on the brands team doing their control brand sourcing, which is now the procurement team, and then made my way over to merchant. So there's a lot of different dynamics that you can take in order to progress.
Wow. So it seems that there's not necessarily just that one way of progressing. It's more of a skills based almost.
Absolutely.
If you have the transferable skills.
Absolutely. It's the transfer. There's a lot of transferable skills, I would say, that go into it. And also, it's good to work in other areas of the business. Like you kind of know, like a lot of people say, like they like merchandising. When you're in merchandising, you really are the owner of the business. You're the center of the business, and you kind of like to have that decision-making power that you get once you're in merchandising. But I find such a benefit. I know a lot of other people do too, that when you work in other areas of the business outside of category and merchandising, you gain a deeper understanding and knowledge into how those teams work and also how different areas work to help you better work in your day-to-day role in category merchandising and also help you better serve your customers. So
awesome. So in terms of specific skills you'd recommend people maybe looking to make that jump into category merchandising, maybe from if they were a summer student or even a store colleague, what skills would you recommend they develop in order to make that transition?
yeah, I think having an understanding of any merchandising principles, of course, would be important for the role. And in that, I mean, I think hard skills, I always say this, you can always learn a hard skill if you're passionate enough to do so. But I think it's just important to understand what the consumer needs are, to understand what product is that you're selling, and that how you're going to sell that back to the customer in the right way. So when I say like merchandising principles, I mean things like if you have an understanding on how to set up a planogram, if you have an understanding on how demand and supply works, any supply chain background, understanding how forecasting and logistics works, like that will be a benefit to you and help you kind of gain an edge to anyone else that's applying for a role.
Awesome. And how does the work of the category merchandising team allow you to bring your difference and make your difference to ultimately benefit our customers and communities?
Yeah, I've mentioned it before. And like I said, we really are the center of the business. We're very centric, and the decisions that we make go impact not only everyone else in the business, but also it's a direct impact on the customer and it's a direct impact on the communities. We make all the merchandising decisions, we make all the promotional decisions, flyer decisions, marketing comes to us, pricing comes to us. So really everything that we do is a direct impact and will show directly and reflect directly to the customer. So anything that you want to do will make a difference within the community, and you just really have that space. And I think the team especially allows for you to have that space, like not fit inside of the box, like think outside of the box and like just allow yourself to be kind of bold enough to make that decision. And then you'll get to see, it's the nice thing about category merchandising is that you'll get to see that direct impact, whether good or bad, happen in the community.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Megan. It's been lovely talking to you.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you.